Hey, welcome inside this episode of Zippys Garage. It's Corvettes at Carlisle 2023, so let's go. Hey, thanks for pushing that play button, folks. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Jeff Zippity Doodah, and this YouTube channel is dedicated to the fun and games associated with being an automotive enthusiast. So if that sounds something you like, please consider subscribing. If you like today's content, smash that thumbs up. Please consider subscribing to the channel. We're continuing to grow. And like I said in that quick introduction, today's upload is Corvettes at Carlisle 2023. My goodness, what an amazing weekend. And yes, I realize it's about a week after Corvettes at Carlisle, and many other YouTubers have already uploaded their videos and so forth. And frankly, that's great. They had a lot of good coverage this weekend out at Corvettes at Carlisle. Met a lot of folks, you know, Michael Brink from Brink of Speed, Clarence from C. Gardner Speed, Great White North Corvette was there. Trying to think who, were a ton of folks there. Corvette blogger, Steve Garrett. So all these guys, Steve Garrett's from Corvette Today podcast, and like I said, Keith Cornett from Corvette Blogger. If you don't follow him, please do so. He's got great daily content on Corvette breaking news stuff. So for me, this was my 22nd year in a row out at Corvettes at Carlisle, and the dash plaque is up on the wall. You can see here, we started way back when in 2002, back when Mid-America was the sponsor of the event. You can see it carries all the way through. This is 2015, and then we break into the more recent versions. And like I said, the dash plaque is up on the wall, and this one is actually autographed by Wil Cooksey. So the Wil Cooksey had a 15-year display out there, and that's something I'm gonna hit in this video. We do an interview with Wil Cooksey, so stick around. I don't know how long this video is gonna be. Like I said, last year's Carlisle video was 2 separate videos, and each one was an hour long. So in this video, I actually got a cheat sheet. So we're gonna cruise around the fairgrounds. I got a golf cart, so we'll set some music to it and cruise around the fairgrounds. I cover the Chip Miller Amyloidosis dinner. You should realize I'm a board member on that foundation, and that's a Friday night dinner with the engineers from General Motors and from Corvette. Some really cool memorabilia there, and we raised $42,000 in one night. So thank you to everybody from that charity auction, as well as I believe it was the Solid Axle Club that made a donation, and just the Corvette community in and of itself helped with those donations. Also, we're gonna cover the downtown parade. Didn't do the parade, but caught it from the sidelines this year, that Wil Cooksey interview. My most recent upload was the AWE Z06 exhaust. So they had that Corvette Z06 out on display at their tent. I didn't capture any of that footage in this video, but go back and look at my last video. That was a visit at AWE Exhaust Systems, and we captured that Z06. This year they also did the flag display out of Corvettes. And this was the first Corvette flag display they did on the hill back in 2008. And if you look closely, there's 2 commemorative edition Z06s in here. That's my car right there in the flag display, the first one they did back in 2008. So that's a really cool photograph. I got some video walking through the flag display as well. One of the big things, or big scuttlebutts of Corvettes at Carlisle this year, you can see the shirt I'm wearing. These were the Sioka Corvette shirts out at the tent at Sioka Corvettes, trying to stand out a little bit. And I think they certainly did the job with these highlighter green or highlighter yellow shirts. Well, the big to-do was the fact that there was no poster. Well, I'm here to tell you, breaking news, we have a Sioka poster for 2023. Not going to go into the details about how and why we weren't allowed to, hand these out and so forth, but the details behind it, not going to go into that here. But this is the 2023 poster. Trying to get it without too much glare. Let me turn it around and see if I can do it this way. And look at the car that's in the garage. We'll go into that in a minute too. But you can see E-Ray, 655 horsepower, 10.6 quarter mile, 2.5 seconds 0 to 60, and all-wheel drive. Sioka Corvette, America's Corvette dealership. And like I said, this is from 2023. If you look around my garage, I've got dozens of these posters. In fact, this is the 25th year that Ciocca and Corvette have combined to do these posters. I have a total of 29 different posters from all the different events that they've hosted over the years. Maybe I'll do an updated video on that particular topic as well. And if you want to get one of these posters, like I said, we weren't allowed to hand them out at Carlisle, but what I'm going to be doing, you can send me an email. I'll put my work email address here, and we're going to do this as a donation for Toys for Tots. Not a profit center at all, but I'm going to mail these out if you want one of these posters. Just going to ask for $26 via PayPal, and I'll give you my PayPal address and my email address from work, and I will send these out in a mailing tube directly to you. And yes, I will ship to Canada if that's something you like. Throw a couple extra bucks in for shipping. But these will also be available at our Toys for Tots Fun Run, which is coming up in 2 weeks in September. So that's a good segue. I've got the flyer here that talks about that. Saturday, September 16th. This is going to be probably, oh goodness gracious, close to the 21st or 22nd annual Toys for Tots run down the Atlantic City Expressway. And this year, they've added an all General Motors car show to it. So there's a website from Eventbrite. Again, I'll put the link here below on where you can register for this event for the all General Motors car show and Corvette Caravan. You do not need to register or pre-register for the Corvette portion if you just want to run down the expressway. If you want to be a part of the car show, that is what you will need to pre-register for, and that's what you do on the Eventbrite website. But those posters will be available at the Toys for Tots event. But if you're not local and not able to get to Toys for Tots, drop me an email. I'll give you the PayPal information, and I'll be happy to mail one of those out to you. I know, like I said, for myself, I've been collecting them for 25 years, so I was really heartbroken when they said we weren't able to hand them out, but we still wanted to make sure we had posters to give out to the car community. The other big event that tied me up out at Corvettes at Carlisle, I hosted a seminar on the event as well, and that's the National Corvette Caravan. So that's this particular event here. This is the flyer advertising it, and you can see the Corvette Museum was there selling some of their swag and so forth for the event. Nice big metal sign, and then here we have a license plate that talks about the caravan. But I was out there promoting and had a booth set up for the Atlantic Corvette Caravan. Again, I'll put more information in the description on this down below, but registration is open for the Atlantic Corvette Caravan. And this is a road trip that leaves from Corvettes at Carlisle in 2024 and will conclude down in Bowling Green, Kentucky for the 30th anniversary of the Corvette Museum over Labor Day weekend of 2024. We've got a lot of fun events planned. We're going to be stopping at a racetrack at Summit Point. We're going to be at the Stonewall Jackson Resort in West Virginia. We're going to be in downtown Louisville. And we're going to be connecting with other Corvette clubs along the way. And not just clubs, but other caravans too, and lots of cool Corvette dignitaries during this event. So if you're interested, please check this out. And then, you know, talk about Ciocca and where I work. People ask, oh, what's going on with the E-Ray, or what's going on with the next variant of Corvette? No information or update just yet. We're kind of taking a wait and see approach, just like General Motors is. So no updates on the E-Ray or any other models that may be forthcoming from General Motors. So nothing yet to report on E-Ray. Now, it's not an 800-pound gorilla, but it is a really cool Corvette. I wanted to show you that my 19 is not in the garage for the simple fact I took this vehicle out to a Cars and Caffeine event this morning. American Collectors Insurance hosted a local Cars and Caffeine event, and they do it every Sunday in the general area here, and had an opportunity to have some fun to bring a used 2023 Corvette out to Cars and Caffeine this morning. So my Corvette's in the showroom down at Ciocca. Gave me the opportunity to drive this beautiful hardtop convertible that is available. Arctic White, 3LT, Corvette Racing logo on it. It's got about 1,500 miles on it, and my goodness, it drives like a dream. So I think that's all of the quote-unquote upcoming events. Let me kind of look at my cheat sheet here. Like I mentioned earlier, it was wonderful saying hello to all the fans and interacting with everybody out at Corvettes at Carlisle, so thank you for coming up and saying hello. Let's see what else. Flag display, Toys for Tots, GM show, caravan. Yeah, I think I hit everything. So guys, let's get out to Corvettes at Carlisle. And if you're in and around the area on September 16th, hope to see you at the Toys for Tots Corvette caravan down the Atlantic City Expressway with Sioku Corvette. Let's get out to Carlisle. So one of the cool things about Corvettes at Carlisle, you'll see all kinds of, the YouTubers and influencers, and I guess I am in that category, but quite frankly, guys, I don't consider myself a breaking news channel or anything along those lines. There's plenty of folks out there, and I'm friends with them. I'm trying to think, Justin from Horsepower Obsessed is here. Michael Brink from Brink of Speed is here. Trying to think, Clarence from C. Gardner Speed 252, I think is the name of the channel. I just know him as Clarence. And trying to think who else. Corvette Rob is here with Brink of Speed. So there's a lot of folks here, and they're going to be having content as well. But for me, I like to kind of bring you the lifestyle stuff and some of the things that you may or may not normally know that is going on at Corvettes at Carlisle. And one of the things I'm going to focus in right now is one of the sponsors of the events is our Aerolari Wheels. They make unbelievable wheels for the wide body C7 as well as the C8s. And they sponsored a Facebook contest of, vote for your favorite car. And over the last, I think, 3 months, they've had quarterfinals, and these 8 cars that are listed here are now in the finals. So the top 3 cars are going to get chosen, and then from there they have 1 car that's going to win a set of Aerolari wheels. So if you're on site here at Carlisle, you have the opportunity to vote for one of these 8 cars. So here is a custom 1977 car, and when I tell you it's custom, it really is. It is beautiful with these side pipes, gorgeous paint on it. I'm going to take it back. It kind of looks like, if you're familiar with the Baldwin Motion cars, so it has that kind of paint scheme to it. Really cool, well done, and obviously well deserving to be in the Aerolari competition. Next, we're going to spin around. There's a beautiful C5, really done up nice with a lot of black and red and carbon fiber dress up on the engine bay. Couple of signatures under here as well. Lance Miller, Life is Good. That is Dave McClellan, one of the chief engineers of the Corvette. So really, really cool. A lot of memorabilia to go with it. 2004 Coupe. Johnny O'Connell, Kevin McKay, and John Heinrichsey, and I don't know who that last one is. Who's the 4th signature? Dan Fagan, very cool. So congratulations on making it to the quarterfinals here with Aerolari. So good luck this weekend. So beautiful representation on the Corvette.
Thank you very much.
Yep.
You have a nice day.
You too. Going to spin around. Here is a really cool C6. Look at the engine dress up in this particular car. Really well done airbrushing. Nicely done on this LS3, and this is a 2008 Coupe as part of the Best in Show from Aerolari. Really nice looking LED lights on the front as well. Very nice car. Thanks for bringing the car out. It's beautiful. Good luck. And then we got, what are we looking at? A C7. I got to look twice to see what it was. So we got a Z06. What color did you paint it?
Black, gold, pearl.
Black, gold, pearl. Wow.
With all the carbon fiber, has copper mixed in.
Copper mixed into the carbon fiber, and it carries all the way through. And Ivan Tampa did this?
Yes.
Very beautiful. Love the wide body. It's hard to get on camera, guys, but look, you can see how flared out these fenders are on this thing, and look down the body line of the rear. Again, all custom outside on this car. Now, there's not much left that's stock on this thing except maybe the motor.
The
Beautiful.
motor and the doors.
The motor and the doors are stock. All right, excellent. Well, good luck today.
Thank you.
Or this weekend, I should say. So it's the Copperhead. Very, very cool. Wild, over-the-top custom. And then we've got another wild and over-the-top custom, but a black supercharged Callaway C7 Corvette Z06 2019 with the Callaway signature. And so sorry to hear of Reeve Callaway's passing recently here. So we've got a nice tribute going on to him. Thanks for bringing the car out today. Good luck with it. He's already got a set of beautiful Aerolari wheels on this car, but he could always use another set, that's for sure. And this is a friend of mine's car that's supposed to be right here, but he's out doing something with his wife, and they'll be over here a little bit later. But this is something that he won last year at the Chip Miller Amyloidosis Foundation dinner, and this is a tire and wheel, half of a tire and wheel, of the Z06 test car that ran over at the Nürburgring, and last year he won this in our auction. And you can see this is signed by the entire Corvette team. You know, Kirk Benyon right here, Harlan Charles right here, you got Tadge Junctor, Tim Campbell. So really, really cool group of folks and a really cool piece of memorabilia that you can't buy anywhere else. He won this at the auction last year, and we will be having coverage from that auction later tonight as we get over to the Chip Miller dinner. Here's another car that's enrolled in the Aerolari competition. So this is a friend of mine's car, and it is done up in a blue and yellow motif for Cushing's disease. That happens to be the color combination for Cushing's awareness. And I got Vince over here. Vince, you want to come over and say hi? So Vince and Aiden. And you can see they're also signed up for the Caravan next year. So these guys, this car is going to be on the Corvette Caravan out of the Atlantic division. So you got Vince and Aiden. So tell me a little bit more about the Cushing's disease and what you were doing with this. They're pointing at each other.
So basically back when my son was 10, 2017, he got Cushing's disease. It's basically caused by a large tumor on his pituitary gland, and it was quite sudden. And after all of the operations, brain surgeries, radiation, we had decided that we were going to do something to bring awareness to it. We always loved Corvettes, more so actually Aiden than myself. I had Trans Ams. He actually got me to cross over to the Corvette world. He used to play full travel ice hockey over at the skate zone right across from Sioka.
Okay.
And we got to watch the Corvettes come off all the time, and he'd always joke with me. He's like, we got to get one. So we decided 2019 we got one. It was a C7 at first, which you've actually had on your show. And then about 3 months later, they rolled out the C8. We got the C1 in Rapid Blue, and he got that smile on his face. He's like, you know what, this is the one. So we spent a couple of years saving up and come up with the ideas, design. We wanted to mimic the C8R edition, blue and yellow, to support the cause.
Excellent. Well, Aiden, what do you think of the thing?
It's cool.
Very cool.
Man of many words.
Yes. Well, thanks for bringing it out today, and thanks for putting it on display. And like Vince said, you know, he's kind of, you know, taking a theme off of the C8R edition with the blue and yellow, and it's carried back through here through the engine bay as well. And he's got the little model to go with it. So again, this car is also in the Aerolari competition out this weekend here at Carlisle. And then the last car in the Aerolari wheel competition is this C7, done up again. Looks like it's shark gray. Beautiful airbrushing. Gray Ghost is what's underneath the engine bay here on the top of the LT4 supercharger. So again, the way you vote, again, if you're on site here at Carlisle, you basically go in and pick your favorite Corvette out of these particular 8 that have won the Facebook competition, and one of these guys will walk away with a cash prize as well as brand new set of Aerolari wheels. Which one is your favorite? Well, welcome inside Zippys Garage. We are out at Corvettes at Carlisle 2023. You can see the stage up there in the background. Don't know what this video is going to look like by the time it's done editing and so forth, but I'm going to try and bring as much of Corvettes at Carlisle as I can to you guys. Don't know how long the video is going to be, but we've got the Caravan tent set up here. We got volunteers John out here. We got Len and John's wife Lynn. You can see everything we've got set up for the Caravan. We've got all our swag. Our registration is open. If you're not in the Atlantic area, go to or even if you are in the Atlantic area, go to CorvetteCaravan.com, and in the top right, you can choose from your local caravan. Here's information on the Atlantic event. This is next August of 2024. And then there's information on the national event as well. So all roads are going to lead to Bowling Green, Kentucky. You can see I got a video loop here showing this is when we were on Kentucky Speedway on the last Caravan. The Corvette Museum is here selling their swag as well. And we are right next to the Chip Miller Amyloidosis tent. You know, I'm on the board of directors of that event, of that group. How are you guys?
How are we doing?
Good, good.
Good morning.
Morning. So this is our giveaway car. You can see you got a live sweepstakes for, you can win this Z06. This is going to be given away on October 1st of later this year, 2023. Unlimited amount of tickets. I'm going to try and get this QR code into the video, and I'll put a link in the description below. But this is the car that you can win. Z07 package on a red mist with black interior, absolutely stunning car with the yellow caliper on it. It's got the Z07 high wing on it, and then there is that beautiful motor underneath the coupe in the glass, under glass, so to speak. And then the Chip Miller Amyloidosis tent is over here. Again, raising money, raising awareness for this event, to wipe out this nasty disease. So We got Judy in the tent here. Hi, Judy. How are you? So she's doing. Diane's on the phone back there. You know, again, we've got all kinds of new merchandise this year. A lot of stuff with Life is Good. So really, really cool. Judy's got a beautiful new T-shirt. Exactly. Go over to the golf shirt. This is one of the nicest golf shirts you're ever going to see. It commemorates the C5R that is in the Miller family collection. You see the number 3 from the Earnhardts, and then this is the T-shirt that goes with it. And this car is actually, I believe, out at the Peterson Museum out in California, as opposed to being on display here today. You go to chipmiller.org to learn more about how you can get some of this beautiful merchandise. And then we got the new Life is Good T-shirt as well. Surf Fest was down in Ocean City, New Jersey. I still have to upload this video, but unbelievable opportunity at the Surf and Slide and Taste of Ocean City, 19th annual. They've been doing this a long time in Ocean City, supporting this event, the Amyloidosis Foundation. But Corvettes at Carlisle Saturday, it's starting to fill up. A little bit of dampness this morning, a little bit of rain yesterday, but it really has not dampened the spirits of anybody here. They're hoping to break a record this year. We've got a lot of E-Rays here. GM engineers are on site answering questions. Here's my car, Zippys Garage. A couple folks said they didn't recognize me without the C5, so brought the C7 out for this particular event just because a little bit more room, and quite frankly, I haven't had it here at Carlisle before, so I figured I'd bring the car out to Carlisle. So with that said, as part of being a celebrity judge, as part of being on the board of foundation of the Chip Miller Foundation, I've got to go out and pick my favorite car, or at least one of my favorite cars. So that's what we're going to do now. We're going to jump in the golf cart, we're going to go for a ride, and let's see if we can find a car to pick out as my celebrity choice. All right, here we're going up the hill at Carlisle. Let's take a look at the car. We are up on the hill. It is Friday around noontime, and it's just been announced that we are 7 cars shy of 3,000 on the registered show field. So Corvettes at Carlisle 2023 is a record breaker for the amount of Corvettes that are out here today. And you can see this roped off area here. This is where they're going to be doing the American flag display on Saturday. So we'll be sure to get some coverage of that as well. But really, really cool. It gives you a perspective of what this place looks like. Pennsylvania Turnpike and the autocross is back over that direction. There's general parking back over here, but just this up on the hill, as they say, just a massive display of cars. Thank you to everybody that came out to this weekend, and we're not done. It's Friday at noon. We've got all day today and the rest of Saturday to get through. So my local Corvette club is over in this tent here, so let's go over and say hello to those guys. Like I said, we are at the top of the hill, and this is where my local club sets up shop. So it's the original Garden State Corvette Club based out of Deptford, New Jersey. And what's cool about it is we've got a great view of the show field up here. Yeah, you gotta kind of trek up the hill, but the best way to do it is take the little taxi cab that they have running around here, and you can get up the hill. You got a great view, and if there's a breeze, this is where it's at. So Carlisle Events gets us a tent. We've got a couple members that are chilling in the shade, right? How are you guys? Everybody's good. And we've got members all over the show field. We were just chatting. We had a bunch that did AWE exhaust systems, so they're down at the tent. We've got 2 or 3 members that are in the Aerolari wheel competition, but we've got a bunch of our cars up on display out here. And again, it's just a fun place to get together and just enjoy each other's company. And like I said earlier in the video, this is the largest show field for Corvettes at Carlisle. So congratulations to everybody who's here. Vet Life stickers, and then you've got your Corvette Caravan stickers. So just a fun place to be. Again, some more of our member cars here as well, and everybody's down on the show field enjoying the day. So let's jump in the golf cart. We're gonna head back down and see what else we can come up with. So as I was cruising through the fun field, I saw this car. Figured I'd stop and get some video. Color you don't see very often anymore. From 1998, medium purple metallic. And this particular one obviously still has the period correct wagon wheels that are aftermarket chrome, because GM didn't offer chrome, but it's got the white top on it as a convertible. You just don't see many in this shade. And trying to get the camera to get in on the sun, it is such a cool color. I don't know that they sold many of them, but man, here in 1998, it's got the light oak interior, I believe that is. Again, it's been a while since the C5 was new, but such a cool color seeing this purple Corvette out on display at Corvettes at Carlisle. So we are now down in what is referred to as the VIP parking lot. It's a little known secret, but here we are putting it on YouTube. This is where the GM engineers that drive in from Detroit and Bowling Green park their cars. So look at this. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 E-Rays here, and there's 2 people here. So it's tough to get close to these things up at the GM engineering tent, but we're gonna walk around some of these E-Rays down here and kind of go through it a little bit. These are all captured test fleet vehicles, the CTF, but you can see these things have the much wider intakes up front. They have the new design wheel on it. So this has got, I guess, a brushed aluminum wheel versus carbon flash or the black wheel. And most people know at this point, the carbon ceramic brakes come standard on the E-Ray, as well as the wide body. So these are both done up in Arctic white. This particular one is done up with yellow stitching, yellow seatbelt. This is being driven by Devin Blue. And I know that because it says it right here on her sticker. So Devin is part of Team Chevrolet and Team Corvette, doing a white Corvette E-Ray convertible. And what's cool about this one is it only has the carbon flash painted on the nacelles. So the body color goes through across the entire roof of the vehicle as well. And in my personal opinion, that's how I like the convertible setup, just with the nacelles being painted. So again, smaller body, the vents back here done up in body color. Remember, the E-Ray is going to be done up in a monochrome color scheme, where if you want to get carbon flash boomerangs and so forth, you have to pay extra. So that's an extra cost option if you want to do this in carbon flash or the sides in carbon flash. This particular convertible, let's see, can accelerate yellow, the black or carbon flash wheel on it, carbon fiber on the side skirt. Really nice. And again, yellow stitching on the inside with the accelerate yellow exterior, carbon fiber on the front splitter. and the dual racing stripes running down the center of this car. And let's see, this is Harlan's car, and you can see the carbon flash stripe does go across the roof, so it's kind of a ghost stripe here against the carbon flash painted roof. Now if this roof was painted Accelerate yellow, this racing stripe would obviously stand out a little bit more. So again, personal preference and personal choice, but really cool car built that Harlan's driving with all the exposed carbon fiber on it. Really looks good with that Accelerate yellow and carbon flash accents. Another Arctic white car. We've got a black one. This looks to be black and not carbon flash. Yellow stitching, but it's got the carbon fiber exposed wheel on this particular example. Really good looking wheel. Again, and they are strong, guys. Trevor Hall is driving this particular car. Black convertible. And I'm looking, yes, it is carbon flash. I'm now looking at it in the sun, because this spoiler here has the metal flake, and then you look at the paint, same metal flake. So this is a carbon flash, which is a carryover color for 2024. So they did carry over the carbon flash from the 70th from 2023. So this is available as a 24. Got another white coupe, and you can see it's still that same V8 engine that's in the back, but now you have that electric assist up in the front, driving the front wheels. So it's got the brushed aluminum wheel on it. Nice side skirts and ground effects on that. Here's another black one. And again, trying to tell if it's black or carbon flash. They are pretty close. This one's being driven by Lane. Really nice looking. You can see how big those intakes are on the side with this wide body. Then we've got the orange, Amplify orange here. And I believe this one is, yes it is. This is the car Taj is driving right now. Saw him last night at dinner. Carbon fiber roof, exposed carbon fiber, but you can see it's got the body color here along the A-pillar, which gives it a nice line that goes all the way through, follows this entire design line. Really nice. And that exposed carbon fiber on the roof. And again, new, we've got an orange brake caliper. So that looks really good up against the orange paint of this particular E-Ray. Looks really good. And these cars were driven in either from Detroit or from Bowling Green. So they've got some miles on them, and they're dirty. But hey, these things are meant to be driven. They're putting test miles on them, and that's what they're out here doing. So we have a hypersonic gray. This looks to have the cacti interior. So this is Josh Holder's car. Yes, so this has hypersonic gray exterior. This is not the new Seawolf. This is, again, a carryover color. Red caliper behind a black or carbon flash wheel on those carbon ceramic brakes. Again, same exposed carbon fiber roof, but that body color carries all the way through the car, and this has the cacti interior. So again, kind of a lightish green, and cacti, similar to the ceramic matrix, kind of picks up the color that you pair it with. So this looks really nice with the cacti against that hypersonic gray. Huge wheels out back. This has the black exhaust tips. This one also, the yellow, also has the black exhaust tips. Nice looking setup with the carbon flash racing stripe against it. And this one's being driven by Michael Bailey. White stitching on that particular build. Really nice. And then another hypersonic gray E-Ray. This thing really does pop in the sun, and this has got the two-tone black and red interior with the carbon flash convertible top. Nice looking car. I do like the hypersonic gray. It really does shine very nicely out in this beautiful sunny day here in Carlisle, Pennsylvania, now that the sun is out. This one also has the carbon fiber interior. Don't know that that's going to come through on camera, but really good looking car. But a nice collection of E-Rays that Team Chevrolet drove down to Corvettes at Carlisle today. And the beautiful thing is, you can get up and close and personal with them. Can't get inside of them, but you can certainly take a closer look at these cars and the design elements. Which one is your favorite? All right, Zippys Garage. We're still out of Corvettes at Carlisle. Ran into a friend of mine, Harry, and Harry's got a YouTube channel, Harry's Hot Rod Garage. So it's a new channel. If you haven't checked him out, please do so. He is a wealth of knowledge, not just in the Corvette hobby, but in the automotive hobby altogether. So, Harry, what do you think of Corvettes of Carlisle, man?
It's a wonderful place, isn't it? It's more eye candy here than you can handle.
Absolutely. So we are underneath the NCRS tent, and you know, like they say, I always say, respect your elders, and these are certainly the elders as far as the Corvette world is concerned. So Harry and I are going to take a walk around the NCRS display just to show you some of the different cars that are here and, you know, what came before. So, and Harry knows a little bit more about these than I do on some of them, so we're going to kind of talk through it together. So, 1953, they were all the same color, polo white with a red vinyl interior, and they made 300 of them, if I'm not mistaken, right?
So, and they all were available in the Flame 6.
Right, yes, exactly, the Blue Flame 6-cylinder. So, yeah, these were not a V8 engine when they first debuted. And little piece of history, the Waldorf Astoria car did not have that red flag. It actually had an American flag on it at the Waldorf car. But back then, you couldn't use the American flag in certain displays, so they changed that flag at the last minute to the, I don't know how to pronounce that French word, French de l'Allure or whatever. Yeah. So that's what they changed it to. So here we have a 57 black, red interior. Any comments on this one, Harry?
I know that. I'm sure this one has a 283 in it. More than likely, let's see what we got in this one. Yes, 283, 270 horsepower.
Very cool.
Look at that front grille. The bright work is amazing.
Yeah, and the 57 was also one of the only ones with the single headlights. So that's one of the telltale signs on a 57. Back in this generation, you know, in this time frame, you can kind of tell the difference of years just by some of the different styling cues. And that single headlight is one dead giveaway for the 57. So 59, this is the quintessential, you know, you mentioned the bright work on that 57. 59, I think, was the most chrome on any one of the Corvettes, you know, between what's across that front grille, all across the back. Beautiful example, white with a blue interior, I believe.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, turquoise leather.
250, is it? 250 horsepower? 230 horsepower.
230 horsepower out of this sucker. And I tell you what, the owners are more than just car owners. They're caretakers at this point. These things are all, well, you know, 50 years older and plus.
Oh, yes. These cars are the epitome of Corvettes. I mean, they're the best of the best.
And talk about design styling, something everybody's familiar with the 63 split window, but the 62, I can tell you this is a 62 in front of us, only because it's the only year that had the side gills with those pieces of, call it stainless steel or metal, running down the cove. So that's a dead giveaway that that's a 62 Corvette, a design cue only done in that particular year.
Yeah, they moved up to 327 engine also on these.
This one's a 360 horse, so ermine white with a red vinyl interior again. But now this has got the quad headlights as opposed to that single headlight on the 57. So I'd mentioned that 63 split window. Here we go. We've got a red on red 63. This is a 300 horsepower, 327 cubic inch with a 4-speed. So beautiful red on red.
Yeah, Riverside Red it's called.
Riverside Red, love it. And then this, I believe, okay, it is a 65.
Fuel injected car.
And Milano Maroon. I was going to say, I know it was one of the maroons because my father had one very similar color, but it was a 62, so it was not the same shade of maroon paint.
A little different.
And then in the 63, you see, that's the first year they went to the hideaway headlamps, and these things will do like a 360 rotation, and that's when the pop-up headlights became a thing in Corvette lore.
Yes, this car here was on my third or fourth episode of Harry's Hot Rod Garage.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
okay.
It was called Ralph's Corvettes.
So Ralph's Corvettes, and this particular 65 was featured there.
Yes, it was, and this is the last year of the fuel injector because the 396 big block came out. So he stopped making fuelies this year. So that's what makes us a little more rare than some other cars.
Very interesting. Like I said, Harry's a wealth of knowledge when it comes to this stuff. So here we've got a 66 convertible with knockoff wheels on it. And see some of the details on this particular car. Laguna blue, bright blue vinyl interior. It's a 327, 350 horse. So you've got a blue on blue Corvette here.
Really nice.
Beautiful, beautiful knockoff wheels on it. And we're going to spin back around. We've got a 67. And, you know, talk about the different design cues. I'm going to jump the rope here just to show you the design cue that makes a 67 a call out for a 67. It is the only year to have the reverse light right above the license plate. So you see that backup light above the license plate? That's a telltale sign that it is 67. And
5
The
gills.
5 gills. Okay, so thank you. So you got 5 gills on the side of the car. Also makes this an exclusive to 1967.
And it's the last year of the C2.
Correct. It's the last year of the C2 or the mid-year. Then you go into the, the Shark, or the longer front nose, and these are referred to as the chrome bumper cars from 68 to 72.
Yes, sir.
Because you've got that chrome bumper up front as well as the chrome bumper in the back. And this one is a nice blue on blue example, Le Mans blue, which happens to be the same name of the color of my 2004 Corvette, Le Mans blue. So again, respecting your elders and knowing the history of the car really pays dividends as you move forward in the current model years and so forth. A 71 red, and look at the insignia on that hood. 404 cubic inches.
365 horsepower.
So 365 horsepower out of that 454 cubic inch engine.
When the emission crunch by the federal government started.
Yeah, the emissions kind of sucked a little bit of the life out of these cars during this generation.
Horsepower started to dwindle each year after that.
Correct. Now here's a beautiful example of a 78 pace car, and what's unique about this one, it doesn't have the decals on it. So it is still a pace car, but it does not have the Indy livery on the door panels. But a beautiful car. And let's see, again, low horsepower, 185 horsepower with 350 cubic inches.
Well, it looks like it's going fast. So.
Yeah, absolutely, and it had to be if it was going around Indianapolis, so it had some speed to it.
And it must have low mileage because they still have the plastic over the seats.
Yeah, I'm looking at it. Yeah, so the plastics are over the seat. There's plastic on the steering wheel. This car is still in the wrapper, so that's pretty cool. 82. The cross-fire injection motor. So again, little bump in horsepower for 82. It got all the way up to 200 horsepower. So we were really moving then. And this particular one is called Silver Beige, and it's a collector's edition. So again, you talk about the different 2017 collector's edition. There's a 96 collector's edition. This was the first one done in 1982. Really cool exclusive wheel and exclusive two-tone paint job that is a part of that 1982 Corvette. And you got an 88. This is part of the Corvette Challenge. So this was a race series that Chevrolet kind of started, I won't say on their own, but they got kicked out of the SCCA because the cars were too fast and too consistent. So what they did for a number of years is they had all of these cars that were all spec'd together, had them racing each other, and the only difference really was the driver. So Corvette Challenge cars, Lance Miller has quite a few of these in his collection, and this particular one is a 350 cubic inch with 245 horsepower. So don't know what the racing history is on this one, but I see Andy Pilgrim's name on the top of the just above the windshield, so pretty cool. Andy Pilgrim was one of the current, more recent Corvette racing drivers. 96 Grand Sport, this famous car with the skunk, as they refer to it as, the white stripe running down the blue, running down that blue hood all the way across the back. And this particular one, again, is 330 horse with a 6-speed manual. The only transmission that you could get in the Grand Sport was that manual transmission, and only available in 96, and it's got that red hash mark on the side. Very, very cool example. These things have held their value very well and from that C4 generation. And then we move all the way up into the C6 gen, and this is a 2007 example, and this one is also painted Le Mans blue. So again, another opportunity to take advantage of using that name Le Mans blue like we did on that C3 that we saw earlier in my 2004. So that kind of takes a wrap around the NCRS tent. But Harry, what do you think today?
Absolutely awesome.
Good, Jeff.
It's good seeing you here, Jeff, and thank you for including me in your video.
Absolutely, and like I said, we're gonna, be sure to head over to his channel. I'll put a link in the description below. He's got all kinds of cool automotive knowledge there. Thanks, Harry. It is now Friday night, and we are still out of Corvettes at Carlisle. We are now over at the Carlisle Expo Center, partaking in the Chip Miller Foundation charity dinner. And let me tell you, it is filling up quickly. I try to do video before folks get in, but hey, we open the doors, now we're having some fun. So here is that Z06 that is being given away. This is part of the Chip Miller Charitable Foundation. This is a sweepstakes car, and it is here, so it's not like you gotta wait for something to be built. One of the big sponsors of the event this year is Aerolari Wheels. So we have a few cars set up over here with Aerolari Wheels on them. Please let me know in the comments below, what is your favorite design of these Aerolari wheels? Really, really nice. Priced well, fully forged wheels, custom designed. And from what I understand, they only make 499 of them. And then that style then is kind of discontinued. You can see on here, one of 499. Please correct me if I'm misspeaking with regards to that. I know the internet will correct me if I'm wrong. But here's a really nice set of orange on an orange wheel with orange lettering here. This is 39 of 299 on this particular design. Really, really cool. So it says Corvettes at Carlisle Best of Show 2022 award. That is pretty stinking cool. So Aerolari makes fully forged wheels that are affordable. And they do it for the C8 as well as the C7 wide body cars. So think the Z06 and the Grand Sport. This one is one of 299 on this design. If I remember correctly, gold wheel over there, and that's what I thought. Bronze wheel over here. Pretty cool. So depending on what side of the vehicle you're on, you've got two different wheel designs. And I see Mr. Chet over here. I'm gonna go interrupt Chet to say hello. How are you, sir?
Hey, good to see you.
Good to see you, man.
How are you?
Thanks for being out here tonight and being a part of this. So
yeah,
tell me a little bit. I was telling folks, you know, what the numbers mean. You know, that you only make a certain run of the wheel and then it's discontinued.
Right,
so
right.
Does it matter on the style?
No, sort of. Yes, each style has a run of, let's say, 299 sets. That's most of them.
Okay.
And so after 299 sets, they are discontinued.
Very cool. So
just like
it makes them exclusive right out of the box.
Right, I know. And suddenly I'm, you know, if you think about like the C8 Corvette, C8R, they made like 1,000 of them.
Right.
And you know, that is a lot more than these.
Sure,
right?
sure.
So these are kind of rare. That's why we stepped it up, for example, on my car to $499 from $299. Okay, big deal. But you know, we want to keep it still
absolutely.
small, you know?
And how do they find you? What's your website?
Aerolari.com.
So,
all the spellings you just saw, just plug that into
the search engine and it'll find you.
Right.
Excellent, excellent. And they're all fully forged, correct?
So we've never sold a cast wheel ever.
Excellent.
They are all.
And you have them for the C8, both body style, or you know, both wide body and narrow body C8 fitments,
yes.
as well as the C7 wide body.
C6, C5.
Awesome. Hey,
you made it. You made it there. I like it.
Oops. Yeah. Oops. Sorry. Exactly. A cameo from Lance Miller. So very cool, Chet. Thanks for being out here tonight. Just wanted to get you on camera and kind of explain everything. So thank you.
Thank you, and thank you for everything you do.
Absolutely. Having a ball doing it. Cool. All right. So we're going to continue here from the Chip Miller dinner. You can see everybody's still filing in. There's a kind of a silent auction items over here that folks are bidding on. They're buying tickets. Hello, Beverly. So we've got some club glove luggage. These are some really cool. This is from Dan Binks from Corvette Racing. Those were his shirts. We're giving those away tonight. An engine cover autographed by Team Corvette. A couple of old promos, Grand Sport registry. Again, a Yeti style, or you know, club glove Corvette cooler. Some old, call it old wine. It's Corvette Blue, the Carlisle Blue. Red, white, and Carlisle Blue wine. So another set of club glove luggage here. Some really cool hats. And then these are JD Orr original prints. You can see folks are still lining up. How are you, sir? Good to see you, Chris. Team Callaway is here. Here comes the Sioka crew. Hello, Sioka crew. How are you guys? Good to see you. How goes it? They're out there having fun on the show field today. And you can see the room is starting to fill up. We've got a gourmet dinner here this evening. And I'm going to go all the way up to the front. Wait, I got to say hi. We're going to get Wil on camera tomorrow. Wil was eating, so we're sorry. Will's still chewing, so that's all right. We got the Cooksey crew in town, and we're going to see him tomorrow. 15th anniversary of this awesome car. So thank you for coming up today, guys. Absolutely. So we're going to get Wil on camera tomorrow to talk about his 15th anniversary of his 427 Corvette. Got a lot of dignitaries in the room tonight. Ken Lingenfelter over here. I know Corvette bloggers in the room. There's Kevin McKay from the Restoration, Corvette Repair. Original Garden State Corvette Club is here. We got the York County Corvette Club, Allentown Area Corvette Club. There's the Sioka table. Larry Martin from Louisville is here with his club. That's what you see, all the baby blue shirts. Team Chevrolet is in the house. We've got 3 tables with these guys. And then the really cool thing is the live auction that we'll do later tonight. And you can see some of the items that we've got on live auction. And I'm fighting the DJ, but that's all right. So first, Jerry Kiefer does these paintings by light. That is a painting, not a photograph. Really, really spectacular. We got another really cool number 3 and number 3 print. Then up here we have more stuff from Dan Binks from Corvette Racing. We've got a Ron Fellows 2-day driving school certificate. You're fine. Another set of Aerolari wheels that have been donated from Chet. Kim's Gold Dust made some donations. More JD Orr products. These are the Corvette giveaways for Lancaster County. Adams Polish, a huge set of Adams products. More of the JD Orr prints here that are going to be off for live auction. And then here we have a VIP package for Corvettes at Carlisle, including your hotel stay. And then General Motors, unbelievable support. You can see what they've brought in. Engine covers autographed by the entire team. Valve covers autographed by the entire Corvette team. Part of the interior. And then if you know the Corvette Z06, the carbon fiber X-brace. Such a cool piece. 2 of those being autographed and auctioned off tonight on a live auction upstairs on stage. And some more Corvette parts. So really, really cool. More fun and games to come out of the Chip Miller Foundation dinner tonight. If you're coming next year, join up with the Corvette Caravan. We're going to have our own tables here at this event. But you can see, this is a lot of fun. So one of the neat things that started here in 2003 was the fact that the Corvette became 50 years old. And ever since 2003, Carlisle has set up a 50th anniversary display. So this year in 2023, the 1973 Corvette turns 50. So we have a display of 1973 Corvettes out here this afternoon, and they're out on display all weekend long, and we're kind of walking past all of these 73s. And what makes the 73 unique is the fact that, you know, a lot of folks refer to these vintage cars as chrome bumper cars. The 73 is unique in that it has a chrome rear bumper, but it has the fiberglass front bumper. So that's how a distinctive feature that you can see only on the 1973 Corvette is the chrome rear bumper and the fiberglass front bumper. So all of those are 73s on display. And then we have another group over here as well. And this is a red convertible, pretty cool car. A white one here. Not even going to try and guess what color this one is. If you know the color of these, obviously green, yellow, red, but the descriptor colors I'm not 100% certain on. You know, obviously this is a blue Corvette, but I'm not sure what the shade of blue is. But again, next year they'll have a 1974 display, and a different design feature about the 74 is that will not have that chrome bumper on the rear. So very cool display of all the 73s that are out here. Coupes, convertibles, and this particular one has a hard top. So really cool to see these 50-year-old cars out on display here at Corvettes at Carlisle. And next year will be a 74 Corvette display. So if you happen to own a 1974 Corvette and you want to get in touch with the folks, find their information at carlisleevents.com to get in touch with them to set up your 1974 display. So we are out at Corvettes at Carlisle on Saturday today, and we are at the Wil Cooksey display. So really cool, 15th anniversary of the Wil Cooksey edition Corvette. And we've got Will and Liz Cooksey sitting here this morning. So I guess we're in the afternoon at this point. How you doing today?
I'm fine, thanks.
Awesome, excellent. And Will, how you doing today?
Oh, pretty good.
A little bit warm today, but
Can't complain, but it's kind of hot. But you know, hey,
sure,
somebody got to do it, right?
sure beats the rain. And I tell you what, we're super excited that you guys are here again. You know, this is your return to Carlisle after a couple years absence, and what a no better way to be here than to celebrate the 15th anniversary of the car that bears your name, which is pretty darn cool.
Absolutely. Matter of fact, it's a dream come true. You know, you spend most of your career working hard on something, and then you recognize that, hey, I'm about ready to retire here pretty soon. And the retirement and the car all came along at the same time. It doesn't get any better. And you know, a lot of people don't realize that when you put your head down and you're working hard on a job, you don't think about things like that to end results wise. It's not on your mind that, hey, one day, you know, I'm not going to have anything to do with this product, this Corvette that I love. I won't have anything to do with it. All I got to do is drive them and take care of them. And hey, I'm not influential anymore to talk to people about change. But see, my case, that's not exactly true, because what I told everybody when I left, I said, I still got your phone numbers.
Right.
And I still will see you in some of these events. So if I hear that, you know, anybody's got something that we need to address, naturally I'm going to encourage them to talk to you and who you are. But I said I'm also going to, I may even give them your phone number.
There you go.
But I want the customers to understand that, you know, part of making a product a very excellent and top product, you got to talk to the people who buy the car.
Very much so.
And this particular car, it was coming about when I was retiring, and then we had numerous meetings, all of us, as to people who kept asking me for crystal red. Hey, why don't we have a Z06 in crystal red? And I said, wait, can't you paint it? And I said, yeah, I can paint it. I said, but you know, we only have 10 paint systems, and you can only do so many different colors at one time, 10. And this would really, the way my process is set up, it doesn't allow me to put that color on everything. And it's a tough color. But at any rate, the Stinger concept, I'd been, ever since I saw the car to begin with, the way the hood was designed, I asked our engineers, and I said, is it possible that we could give that appearance? That, hey, this is sort of a replica of the big block.
From the big blocks, you know, from the 60s.
60s.
Yep.
And so I didn't really realize that they were actually doing anything with those ideas. But they came down one day, you know, Kurt and Harlan, and they had a printout of two cars, and they had this car, and they had the hood treatment they had put on it.
Right.
Then they had the big block over here,
right.
60 version, and they had it on there. And I looked at them, I said, yeah, now that's more like it. That's what I'm talking about. They had the 427 on the hood area.
And so that's pretty cool that they allowed you to have some of the input on the design of the car. So it wasn't like a surprise you were involved in it.
Right.
And for those that, you know, may not know who Wil Cooksey is, what was your position inside of General Motors? I know what it was, but tell a little bit about the
Well, you know, I'm the guy who you could point the finger at if you got a car that came out of my operation that didn't quite fit the bill. It didn't quite do what you wanted. It didn't make any difference what the issue was. If you brought it up, the plant manager is going to be responsible for it. Now it's up to my job as a plant manager to get with the right people to make certain that it is addressed and it is corrected.
Yep. So how long were you the plant manager? And for those that don't realize, he was the plant manager in Bowling Green over top of Corvette. So
yeah, from 1993 to 2008, which before that was unheard of.
Correct, and it's still unheard of at this point.
Yeah,
even in 2023, nobody's been able to do that.
I was basically the longest running actually plant manager they've ever had. And of course, the reason why, one of the reasons why I was left to be there that long is that when I went to Corvette, I understand the challenges that were there. I also understood that there were some issues that need to be addressed between workers and union management. You had all of that to deal with, and plus there was also within the corporation, you had people who had different ideas on what the customer complaints were,
right,
or what the customer was in love with, or what the customer would spend money for. And so in my case, I always used to tell them, maybe I'm the voice of the customer.
Right.
I say, because I've attended enough meetings, and I talk to enough of them, hey, they tell me, and what I say, you can take it to the bank.
It's a great liaison, between the customer and between management. And you see what, what's it mean to you 15 years later to see this great display of all these Wil Cooksey cars here set up at Carlisle? What does that mean to you today? 15 years being past, you know, retirement and so forth.
I can tell you this, what this tells you is that it was all worthwhile.
Good.
It all was done for the right reason. And you can sit back, you know, and you can be proud. And I think of all the people that had something to do with it. That's why I try to give credit to the people. I couldn't do anything by myself.
Right.
I used to tell them all the time, if I'm the only one that wants things to get better around here, we're not going to make it.
Yep.
I said, you know, we all got to be one big team. And as they say, teamwork makes the dream work.
That's it.
And you do dream, a lot of people dream about the day when they can have a vehicle like this, or probably don't think about the day when they sign them all, and that means anything.
That's pretty cool because your signature is on each one of these cars, right?
Little did I know anybody wanted my signature, but thanks anyway.
Now, there's a lot of people that wanted your signature, and I think it's really darn cool that you're the first GM employee to actually have a Corvette built in your honor. You know, they've done race car drivers and things like that, but you're the first and only one to have a a General Motors employee with the vehicle. So
I was very surprised myself when they said it was something that they would allow me to do. I said, wow. I had a big smile on my face, boy, from ear to ear.
That's great. And we can't thank you enough for coming out and supporting the hobby and being here at Corvettes at Carlisle this year. But thank you again, Wil, so much. Appreciate it. So out of Carlisle, thank you to Wil Cooksey for doing that quick interview. But this is Wil's car. So this is the first one off the line as far as the Wil Cooksey edition done. It's a 2008 Z06. Crystal red metallic. You see the license plate on here, Wil 001. And like I said, we've got a beautiful tent set up here at Carlisle to celebrate the 15th anniversary. And that was set up by this gentleman here, Howie. Howie, how are you?
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well. So obviously you adore this car, I could say, is an understatement.
I do.
And you own one as well. So tell me a little bit more about what this particular Z06 means.
Okay. This is Z06 I purchased brand new. I'm the original owner.
Okay.
I owned it for 10 years and I sold it. A year and a half later, I bought it back.
Nice.
So I'm the first owner and the third owner.
And the third owner. Very nice.
But they made 505 of these.
Okay.
Every one of them exactly the same crystal red.
Crystal red.
Only one option, with navigation or without. This one happens to have navigation.
This one does have navigation.
It does.
Okay.
Yep, they made 505.
505 of them.
427 stayed in the United States because that's the cubic inches of the motor.
Right.
The other 78 went overseas.
Very nice.
You put those two numbers together, adds up to 505, which is the horsepower of the Z06.
That's what I was going to ask. What's the 505 represent? I knew that, but I figured I'd throw it out there. And I love the license plate. We got the Cook, and it's a Z, so very cool. And like I said, this was the first Corvette to bear a General Motors employee's name, which is really cool. Because later followed, you know, we had the Ron Fellows edition and things like that. Ron was a race car driver as opposed to a GM employee. But all of these cars are signed by Wil, correct?
They are, from the factory.
From the factory. So show me where that signature is.
Every one of them, all hand numbered. And signed by Wil Cooksey.
So you've got the underside here signed, and this is number 295. Now you also told me there's a couple more signatures on this car.
I went a little crazy.
So let's see where else you got some signatures on this thing.
I drove my car to Bowling Green, Kentucky, and called Wil and asked him if he'd do me the honor and sign my dashboard.
So look at that, folks. He's got the dashboard signed as well. So I'd say he's pretty into it here. But then he also showed me something on his arm that really puts it into next level territory. So let's take a look at that. So there we go. We've got the Wil Cooksey Z06 on his forearm. Absolutely love it. And the 427. So who says Corvette owners don't have passion that runs deep? I would say your passion runs extremely deep.
It does. Absolutely.
So thank you so much for putting this together, getting Wil and his wife out here this weekend. And thanks for being out of Corvettes at Carlisle with us.
Thank you very much.
Beautiful car.
Thank you very much.
Okay, this isn't really going to come out too well on video, but I'm going to show it to you anyway. Because something that Corvettes at Carlisle does, they've done it now for a number of years. They don't do it every year, but I'm a little too close in. But what this display is, you see all the red and white? Well, there's some blue back there as well. This is an American flag display made out of Corvettes. So this is something they did a number of years ago. I was in the first display with my 2004 Le Mans blue car. But a really cool setup with all the red, white, and blue. It's a little tricky because you can't get every shade of red or every shade of white or every shade of blue for that matter to be identical. But it is pretty stinking cool that they put this together, and then they get the drone and helicopters up in the air and take some really cool aerial photographs of it. And one, in the first year they did it, they did not do this. This is supposed to represent the flagpole of gray cars going up the flagpole, so to speak. And anybody that's been at Corvettes at Carlisle, you know, hiking this hill is not the easiest thing in the world to do. So we've got the gray flagpole, or the silver and blues, making up the flagpole, and then here are the blues that represent the red, white, and blue portion of the flag. And then as you get all the way to the top, call it the Golden Eagles, they've got two yellow Corvettes up here. Pretty neat, representing the top of the flag. And this is Laura and Marty's Corvette, who are my co-captains for the National Corvette Caravan next year. So I'm gonna try and get a perspective from here. Really cool setup. Well done, guys. Well done, Carlisle Events. And thanks to all the owners that came out and did this afternoon. All right, we are out at the Carlisle Downtown Parade, and here they come. What's up, dude? Lance Miller with that Sioka badge on the back. Here comes the rest of the crew. These are all part of the Chip's Choice group. There's Carlisle Media doing their thing. As I said, they're all having fun here. They're gonna get parked. Look at this thing running no hood. Pretty cool. The wrap job on this one over here, pretty darn cool. A lot of these folks were in the parade last year. If you watched my video from last year, Cunningham Corvette running down. That's the #1 Cunningham. Here comes the Mobile One museum car. What's up, Adam? Adam Boca from the Museum Insurance. They're out there having a good time tonight. Hey, Bev! Amen! Really cool. Like I said, we decided not to do the parade this year because of breaking down the caravan booth, but this is a pretty cool venue here. Getting to watch everybody cruise on by. Throwing candy out, waving to everybody. You know, and guys, what's really wild is, I'm gonna pan the camera around. These are the GM engineers over here. The Chevy team is out here as well. You know, you got Taj and Harlan, you got Josh Holder is over here. The whole team is out here enjoying this as well. So it's just not the Corvette enthusiast. You've got Team General Motors, Team Chevrolet, Team Corvette out here enjoying this tonight. They're out here having fun tonight, and you can just listen to all the fun that these owners are having. Okay, we are still outside here on Saturday night now, the grand finale of Corvettes at Carlisle 2023, and it is capped off with the Downtown Corvette Parade. And this is such a cool night. turns into a street party. Not only are there Corvette owners out here, but these are all the locals that live in Carlisle. Like I said, it turns into a big, giant festival atmosphere. You can hear the live music playing in the background. I'm walking closer to the band, so it's gonna get a little bit louder. But again, you've got all generations of cars out here that did the parade. Lots of kids out here having fun. I've got my adult beverage with my lime and my Corona out here just to enjoy the evening with friends. Friends that you might only see once a year, but they're still friends, which is great. Figure have some fun with that. Let the band take over for a second. What do you see? They shut down the streets, not only the main street of Hanover Street, but all the side streets as well. You can see, if you're familiar with Carlisle, this is High Street. At this intersection, you can see Corvettes down to my right, pan around, Corvettes down to my left, Corvettes straight ahead, and obviously back behind from where I came. So I forget the exact number that they cut this off at, but it's a lot of cars. And look at this. This is the kind of stuff you get to see out driving around. Red on red, 1961 Corvette. Absolutely beautiful. Red with the white coves. Just your beautiful C1 Corvette. Absolutely gorgeous. And right next to it, you know, a C7 Z06. Beautiful, beautiful cars. So with all that said, folks, I'm just going to say thanks so much for watching this episode of Zippys Garage. I have no idea how long this video is going to be after the edit, but I've had an absolute blast this weekend. My voice is a little bit hoarse, but you know what? It's worth it. Seeing all the friends that you only get to see every so often, seeing all the other YouTubers that I got to run into this week, and just getting ready for the 2024 Corvette Caravan. So with that, I'm going to sign off. Probably go get 1 or 2 more frosty beverages and stay out here till dark, and then head home tomorrow and start working on the edits. So thanks again, and stay tuned for more fun and games to come out of Zippys Garage.